All right, guys, welcome to our weekly Facebook Live. And this week we have none other than the one and only coach and team leader, top producer, top 50 here at eXp, Mr. Jason Simard. Welcome.
Welcome, Jason. We're so happy to have you on with us today. Before we continue our conversation, we're going to address one item that I'm sure everybody is going to ask about. John, your tooth. Let's just get it out of the way.
I'll tell you, I do whatever it takes. You knock out my tooth, I will show up for work. You knock me down, I will get back.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is our president. This is why we're so happy you're in your position.
Whatever it takes. Jason, you are muted. You're muted. Yeah. Uh-oh. Yep, still muted.
Yeah, just unmute. You got this, Jason.
Can you hear me now?
There you go.
There you go.
Okay. It's been a little chaotic behind here. We're trying to get this on our Facebook group. Anyways, and then John's looking at me, looking like, you know, he's John Toothless Tsai. By the way, John, thanks for being a good sport. John was actually trying to get out of this, Nadia, just so you know.
I know. I know. He was telling me, and I'm like, did it work? He's like, no, he wants me toothless. Like, okay.
I'm not giving you an easy out. They've marketed you as being the guy that's going to be on it. So,
Jason, we're so happy to have you with us today. Grateful that you took the time out. We want to start the conversation of tell us a little bit about yourself and your team.
Sure. Thank you for having me, by the way. It's an honor. Obviously, I'm a huge fan of John Tsai and Nadia yourself. You guys have done some amazing work here in Canada. 6,000 plus agents now, you guys. I mean,
how amazing is that? We're so happy.
So I'm trying to do my part to try and contribute to that number, but I'm humbled to be here. Started in the industry 7.5 years ago now. I came in maybe a little differently than some. I came in at a rock bottom in life. I'd been quite successful from an upper middle class standpoint in my 20s. I was a bank manager at 22, did that for 7 years in the industry for a total of almost 11 years. And then I went through a life event. I unfortunately, had a marriage breakdown. And so I went through a couple of years there where it was financially, I got to be honest with you guys, it was really tough. I don't know if people can relate to that, but it was hard. And I was at a rock bottom financially. I'd played it safe most of my adult life, did what your parents tell you to do, get the good job, get the good career, make sure you have the benefits. And I realized I was settling for who I really believed I was. I knew that I was capable of greatness, but because I played it safe for so long, it literally took me hitting a financial rock bottom, like going through a divorce and the things that I went through to really figure out that, you know what, I didn't starve. And I remember sitting there with my dad one day, and this is a pretty humbling moment. And he looked at me and he said, you know what, son, you have absolutely nothing to show for your whole adult life other than your 2 kids. And at the time I had 2 kids. And some people be like, wow, that's pretty harsh. But the truth is he was right. But what I told my dad is I said, you know what, Dad, what I have is I have this, and I have my experience and I have my skills, and I'm going to take this and I'm going to build something great. And I'm not going to let this hold me back. I'm not going to settle for this life that I'm at now. I know I'm capable of greatness, and now I'm just going to go all in. And so now started all gas, no brakes. And I started Sims Real Estate Group, which is our real estate team. My goal was to build a team exit production within 5 years, starting out from day one. I was talking about this with people. I hired an assistant 3 weeks into the game. A lot of people are like, who is this guy? I had my Britney Spears headset on and prospecting, making things happen. But I knew what I wanted, and I wanted to build something that was going to be great. And so I was lucky. I set up 135 home sales my very first year.
That's amazing.
Now, a lot of people don't know what I did to get to that point though, right? After banking, there was a couple-year period here where I worked closely in the internet marketing world for real estate. So I got to meet some of the most successful agents. I got to know where to invest in my business. And so when I came in, I had a very clear plan. I wasn't here to be a realtor. I was here to build a business, be an entrepreneur, and do something that would basically help other people. And I was also lucky that somebody took a chance on me. And this is why if you get to know me, you know that I'm the type of person that will literally give you the shirt off my back and will do anything to help lift people up. I had a brother-in-law who believed in me when I was at that rock bottom, minus 80,000 in the hole when I started this 7.5 years ago. He lent me $53,000 to get my business going. And I paid him back in full in 4 months, in full, every dollar. And then gave him a huge interest payment that year, $27,500 as a thank you for believing in me and taking that risk. And I started Sims Real Estate Group, which is the team that you know today. So that's a little bit about the journey, but it's been all built on collaboration. We've got a very healthy wolf pack. It's not just me. I have amazing people that I would genuinely take a bullet for that work with me in our business. And I'm very deliberate when I say they work with me. There's not a single person here that works for me. We all work together. And I have no employees. I would never use the word employee. I have business partners. Mm-hmm. And just that culture in our business really resonates well to me, and a big reason why I came to eXp is Glenn Sanford talked about, the idea of not having a hierarchy and having really a bunch of business partners to build eXp with. Mm-hmm. Well, Sims Real Estate Group on a much smaller scale is built with those same values. And I didn't even realize this because I started off my career at Remax. Mm-hmm. And I found that there was a value disalignment that happened over time. It wasn't the collaborative environment that I thought it was. And then when I actually looked at what we have here, I was pretty blown away that how much our organization really aligned with eXp as an organization. And then it was a decision that the team unanimously made together.
Jason, you have a very interesting story, and I'm sure as many have a lot of interesting stories of why they got into real estate in general. And as you're talking, I'm thinking about, there's always that why factor of why I need to work so hard. I mean, yours was, I need to get out of the hole that I was in. We talk a lot about the stresses in life and, the overcoming of day-to-day challenges. But for you specifically, how were you able to manage that being a single dad, 2 kids, and needing to grow that organization to the level that you're at? How did you handle the stress? Is what I find the most unmanageable amongst real estate agents or really any profession. How were you able to cope with that?
Yeah, that's a good question. So here's the deal. Number one, I'm used to dealing with a high level of stress. So I'm comfortable in that space. Number 2 is I developed what I called a very clear measurable activity plan where I knew exactly what I need to do on a daily basis and exactly what I needed to do on a weekly basis in order to win. And I picked things that were 100% within my control that I could track and that I could measure. So by focusing on what I had 100% control over every single day, I knew that I could just focus on that and that would be a huge win that day. For example, I could control having 20 real estate conversations every day in my business. I could control sending out 20 text messages. I could control sending 20 bomb messages, right? On a weekly basis, I can control doing a YouTube piece of content, a Facebook piece of content, right? And I literally just systematically built a plan around what I had control over. And it gave me a lot of confidence because it's like a compound effect, right?
Right.
You win today, then you build that in today. All I got to do to win today is do these things that I've committed to. And slowly but surely, well, for me, in my case, it was actually quite quick, right? For a lot of people, it's a slower build. John, you've talked about your story and it was a bit of a slower build. But for me, a lot of the stuff that I went through before getting into real estate, that rock bottom and everything that I went through is why I was able to catapult this. Now, leveraging early was something that I got. People are like, who is this guy? Who does he think he is, hiring an assistant 3 weeks into the game? But I've always understood what my gift is. And I stay in a very, very narrow lane, like in any business that I've ever built, even in my relationship, to the partners that I choose, I always find people that balance me out where I'm weak. So I can stay in my lane of brilliance. Mm-hmm. And I learned this superpower at a very early age. And I knew that my gift was my ability to connect. I'm a connector. I'm a people person. I knew my EQ was what was going to win for me. Mm-hmm. Not being the smartest guy in the room, but like being the best at connecting on a deep level and really executing and having those advanced people skills. So I've always relied on that.
Yeah.
And so it was basically creating that plan that I had full control over. and having a roadmap that I literally just systematically built out. And then knowing that my number one investment that I needed to make was people. People are your biggest asset in any company. If you have great people around you that align with you values-wise, it makes a world of difference. And the people that I align myself with are all givers just like me. I strategically look to hire people on a values level. I don't care what your experience is. What I care about is who you are as a person. You know, when things get tough, are you the type of person that's going to focus on keeping the relationship strong? Or are you the person that's going to immediately resort to, oh, I'm going to look for something new and shiny?
100%. It's when times get tough, you find that a lot of people cave and fail. So for you, as you laid out that roadmap for yourself, you structured a team around you that's going to be able to support you in everything that you need. Now, the busier that we get, we know, I mean, John and I know very well, it's very easy to be able to cut off important times in your life, such as family time, such as kid time. How were you able to maintain or sustain that time block, or did you have to time block? What was the structure around that to give your family the time that they needed?
I'm going to be fully transparent with you. My family probably didn't love me for 3.5 years. Probably wasn't the funnest person to be around. I was always working, always in my phone, 7 days a week, all out, all gas, no breaks. I look back, and if I could coach myself at that point, I would have said, you know what, Jason, you need to build counterbalance. I gained like 40 pounds over the course of 7 years. I didn't take care of myself. My wealth went up.
Yeah.
I became financially independent quickly and all these amazing things, but my relationships weren't as good as they could have been. My kids, I didn't spend enough time with my kids. I didn't take care of me. And so if I could go back in time, I would have prioritized my health, my relationships, right? And then I would have focused on my business.
Mm-hmm.
But luckily, I had I wanted to do something that might take somebody 25 years. I wanted to do it in 5. And so I did have a plan and systems that I was putting into play so that I could start leveraging my time better. And so I could start focusing on me. So it was something I had to train myself. I started seeking out mentorship. I started learning from people that had built systemized businesses that they are not in production in. And I was seeing that they were a lot happier than the agents who built these successful businesses, but they're mostly the production. And so for me, that was really important, is learning how to manage my time. And it starts with like actually me first.
Yeah.
Then my relationships, and then my business. Because if you don't take care of yourself first, you're going to be useless to your family, your friends, and actually it will have an impact on your wealth and how you treat your clients.
I 100% agree with you. If you don't take care of your health, most importantly, when there's kids involved and there's family involved, it's just, you know, when we're going full force, we don't see that. It's only when we reach the level that we want to reach, then we look back and say, I could have done it differently in the same amount of time. Do you feel that if you had time blocked and if you had taken that time away, you would have still reached the same level that you're at today?
I probably would have done better, to be honest with you. I probably would have done better, because one of the things that I realized with myself and a lot of my students and people that I work with is we have a lot of busy work that we do in a day, but it's actually a lot of it is fluff.
Yeah.
And once you become hyper focused on making every minute of your day count and really living by your schedule, it changes everything. I work at a 90-95% efficiency right now. I'm able to make all my kids' games. I'm able to be at my kids' tournaments. I'm able to take time away and enjoy a vacation when I want to without constantly being, you know, in my phone, which is huge.
Yeah.
We were at a conference recently, and, you know, if you spend any time with me, you realize like I am having the most fun of anybody there. I'm connecting and creating like this amazing time with the people, and because I get to connect with them on a deep level. And the reason for that is the work that I did putting in systems and leverage in my life. And I think this is an area that, you know, if I could go back, coach myself, I would have done this earlier for sure. 100%.
Yeah, with regards to you know, you being leveraged, I mean, the man's obviously genius when you know he can't even unmute his mic. So for sure.
If I can do it, anybody can do it.
I 1,000% agree. It's just, you know, the information that you offer, Jason, a lot of agents that are coming into the business, it's something that they seek. They don't know. This kind of guidance doesn't exist. You know, even coaches don't coach agents coming into this business in that form. I see them putting in a lot of time, and you go back to your 80-20 rule, right? They spend 80% of their time accomplishing 20% of their business, but that's what's really their hunger is give me some guidance, because, you know, like you, we all came into this business, but we work 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, thinking that's how we need to be successful. But then our kids are the ones that pay the price. Our families are the ones that pay the price. So the information that you offer, you know, had you started from day one again, what gives you that confidence level to be able to build that network around you? Because a lot of agents come in, they don't believe in themselves that they could actually make it. What gave you that confidence?
Rock bottom, guys, is you can look at it one of two ways. You can be a victim, be like, woe is me, and make all these excuses on why it happened. Or you can look in the mirror and say, you know what, I'm going to take full accountability for where I'm at right now. And I'm the only person that can change it. And once you hit rock bottom and you realize you didn't starve and you have all your faculties still, you're like, okay, this is rock bottom. I mean, this is like the scenario that I always worried about. It's happened. Here I am. Now I have a choice. I can be the victim or I can take full accountability. And if you know me, I always point the finger at myself. It's my fault. And so literally that minute when I made a decision, it was like instant. I was like, I'm making a decision. I'm going to create a life of abundance, and I'm never going to stay in the scarcity place that I was. I'm literally going to live in abundance, and I'm going to always be the person that lifts people up.
Yeah.
One of the things that is really important to me is when I meet people is that I lift them up and I make them feel better knowing me than had they not. And when I surround myself with people, I'm genuinely helping to make impact to change their life. Somebody did it for me, my brother-in-law, Chris. I'll never be able to thank him enough for just giving me that opportunity with that loan to get me going at a point where literally nobody would have given me anything at that point because I was rock bottom. Right? Assets and liabilities and all that would have been minus 80,000 net worth at that point. Like basically, like my dad said, I was pretty much a loser at that moment. Although I'd always been a winner, I'd built a 6-figure net worth in my 20s and done fairly well from an upper middle class standpoint. In that moment, I was a loser, but I knew I could change it. And I knew this was the opportunity to not play it safe, go all in on myself, and then start going in on the people around me, you know, make sure that they know that I've got their back too, and just opening doors. And it's amazing. I just started opening one door and another door. And next thing you know, you have a healthy wolf pack. And today, I mean, I have 42 people in our organizations that I get to collaborate and make money with. And it's just like the most gratifying place in the world, guys. I can't tell you how blessed I feel on the quality of relationships that I have in my life.
That's amazing. My last question to you, Jason, and then John, I will give you the floor, is how has eXp added value into your life and into your business?
Oh man, this is it's an emotional question, to be honest, because it's changed my life like you have no idea. I used to have one income line. I now have eight income lines in my life, which gives me a lot of confidence and stability where I can make moves and I can keep the ship moving forwards. I can keep people employed during volatile times. You know, revenue share has changed my life. I've been able to fund a pension plan for people that work with me. Literally, I give away 65% now of my revenue share that I earn every single month, which is a very, very healthy sum. I give away 65% of people that I care about. And my goal is to build that so big that one day I can give away 90% of it and just literally change the lives of all these people that got behind me in the vision that we had and believed in me. And I can never, ever repay them enough. You know, like I feel an enormous sense of gratitude. The stock opportunity that eXp gave me, I mean, the stock went up 1,100% during COVID. What did I do? Well, I cashed out a bunch and I was able to put that and secure my family financially with that, you know, and then just being able to reinvest in the company and continually add that as now a new income line has been a huge blessing. And just having a model that has introduced me some amazing people that I'm now doing big asset and investment moves with and building deep relationships and able to grow coaching companies. It is the greatest real estate platform on planet Earth, bar none. There's nobody that's even close. And more importantly, it's like the types of people that you get to be around, you know, the relationships like what I've built with John and getting to know you a little bit better, Nadia. And I look forward to knowing you more in the future. But you guys are just a couple of the amazing people we have in this company. I mean, I literally just got back from a conference this week in Orlando, and I got to meet some people that are just unbelievable humans, but more importantly, super successful. And it's pretty cool.
Yeah. Well, we're honored to be working with you, Jason. And, you know, we're so incredibly proud of the legacy that you're building for yourself and your family. And we take pride and working with people like you. So thank you so much for being with us today.
Oh, I appreciate it so much.
Thank you. And, Jason, we met here at eXp. So just to be able to meet great people here at eXp is your biggest opportunity. And what better opportunity for us to be at events? You can even meet the CEO himself at these events. I mean, and nobody's got an ego. That's what I noticed about eXp. It's crazy.
Can I just say one thing? Like this is the coolest thing. This is what I love about this company. We're literally at Universal Studios. Okay. Like a bunch of adults have this whole theme park closed down for us. We get to go on all these rides and they have drinks and food. And I walk out of the very first ride and I look behind me and who's walking there just being a big kid themselves? Glenn Sanford, the CEO of eXp.
Yeah.
And I just thought that was the coolest thing because normally you go to a conference, the CEO's like, oh yeah, I'm not going to go and hang out with the peasants. And he doesn't look at it like that. He's like, these are my partners. And he's in there just having a blast and just being a humble man. And, 3 years ago during COVID, I reached out to him. He didn't know who I was, but I said, listen, I told him who I was and he responded back and I was able to interview him and do a mastermind for people. And I'm just like, this is the type of company that really resonates with my values. And it's just the longer I'm here, the more I meet people, the more I realize it was the right place. But like, how cool. Your CEO is literally just like a big kid himself going on these rides. It was really neat.
It really makes you feel good about yourself. But, that's one thing that I found so different than any other company. I've been with Remax Century 21 the longest, but it's the CEO is part of your group of people. And, even at the conference, there wasn't a day that I didn't see Glenn, Michael, Patrick, all roaming the halls with us, Jason guessing. They were all there with us, talked to everybody. Every single agent was chasing them down for pictures, and they were so happy to do it. So, the company that we have is just absolutely amazing.
Yeah. It's the craziest thing because like he doesn't have to be there. The guy's a billionaire. He doesn't have to be there, but he's just like a normal.
He wants to be there.
He wants to be there. It's genuine, and you can tell it's genuine. It's not fake.
Yeah, it's people that make him happy.
Yeah, I love it. He's built the company on his core values, and you can feel it.
Yeah.
Right. And again, I think he understands the value of collaboration, and he understands the value of having business partners, not just a bunch of independent contractors that are here to be a profit line on the ledger. I love the fact that eXp focuses on the agent satisfaction and building a company that is the most agent centric company on planet Earth. And every single thing that they talk about is how do we improve our net promoter score? How do we improve the culture within eXp? How do we make our agents want to be here forever? And it's refreshing to see that. And other companies just don't communicate that way. They're always looking, hey, how do we improve our profitability? How do we get more from the agents?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Jason, thank you so much. John, do you have anything? Did you want me to make a joke, John?
I just want to say thank you. We met here at eXp. He's been my coach. He's been my mentor. He's been my partner. He taught me a lot about collaboration. And the reason why, I'm in this position today is partly because of what Jason taught me. So I'm truly appreciative of you, who you are, what you do, what you mean to our company. And man, I just can't wait to keep growing with you and dominate the world with you. So appreciate you.
John, if you need anything, I'm there. And I know that if I need you, you're there too. John takes my calls and I appreciate that. And I know he'll take mine. So it's pretty amazing. So thank you guys for everything, the collaboration. I'm just humbled, but let's get this to 12,000. Let's get this to 20,000. So many people need this opportunity. They just don't know it yet because they haven't opened their mind. But if they're looking, if they look closely enough, they'll see that this is the place that you want to be. And the types of people that are here will literally make impact on your life forever, not just short term. It's real, genuine people that have an entrepreneurial spirit. So thank you guys for the work you're doing.
Thank you.
Love you, brother.
Love you too, man. Thanks, John. Good luck with your tooth, bud.
I'll get it fixed.
Bye.
Have a good day.
See you guys.
Bye, guys.